Hey, welcome to Hooper's Radar. Today, I'll be discussing the potential of the 7th pick in the lottery, Shaedon Sharpe. But just before we get into it, I want to give a shout out to Mom Miller. He had a great explanation the other day answering my question on if the Blazers are real contenders. He said, "Look, I love Dame and the Blazers, but the Blazers are not real contenders simply because they only have one superstar and Jeremy Grant, who's an all-star caliber player. But I don't think that's enough to be real contenders, because if you only have one superstar, then you need other all-star caliber players around him like the Warriors did last year. They are off to a hot start, but I don't see them as real contenders. Western Conference Finals at the absolute best." Although I can't agree to this as a Blazers fan, I appreciate your reasoning, bro. It's understandable, and I guess we'll see how far the Blazers make it this year. With that said, let's get into it. Shaedon Sharpe was one of the biggest mysteries coming into this year's NBA draft. He was a guy that has been so elite in high school and was the #1 ranked player in his class. He would then commit to Kentucky, which seemed like an exciting thing to see. One of the most talented prospects with one of the best college basketball programs. But then the unpredictable would happen. Sharpe would decide to sit out his entire college season and declare for the draft. He used his time off to practice and train within the Kentucky facilities and trainers to be ready for the NBA. This was a very controversial decision because who decides to skip out on playing your 1 year of college, but all we could do is accept it. Flash forward to present time, and now one of the biggest mystery prospects ever is proving he was worth being picked in the lottery. A guy who was on a very deep Portland Trail Blazers is carving himself a role and might be the most athletic player in this draft class. I don't know if you guys have been watching Blazers games, but Shaedon can fly. This dude can catch a lob over anybody and finish with ease. His pull-up and shooting game is also very polished. Believe it or not, if Shaedon would have been drafted to a team where he's a starter, he would be averaging 15 points or more per game right now. But the fact that he's averaging about 9 points per game on a very talented team like the Blazers alongside guys like Lillard, Grant, and Freddie Hart is impressive. And Sharpe is scoring his points efficiently, shooting 40.9% from 3 and 49.2% from the field. I'm not going to talk much of his game besides scoring because that's basically the only thing he does at the moment. He's not much of a rebounder, even though he can jump, and his defense isn't great yet because he has the tools to be a great defender in the future. A lot of things still lean on the facts that Sharpe has potential, but it's nice to see that he didn't come out a bust because many people believed missing out his year at Kentucky will leave him unprepared and his early injury in the summer league could lead him to being a bust. But Sharpe has already killed those narratives with some 20-point games this season and important contributions to this Blazers team. So far, I like what I see from him. I do obviously want to see more because I wish he could play more minutes because he's so athletically gifted, but he's done the most he could do in his limited minutes. I'm excited to see him in the playoffs because I think he's one of those guys that can have one explosive performance in a playoff game out of nowhere. I think he could get all rookie honors, maybe, but anything can happen. This rookie class has already proven to be pretty deep. I think the potential of Sharpe is through the roof with his smooth shot creating, crazy bounce, efficient scoring, and glimpses of defense. I think we'll start to see his potential come out with more minutes and eventually as a starter. For now, he'll remain a good spark off the bench and an athletic highlight reel. What do you guys think of Shaedon Sharpe's potential? Let me know in the comments, please. I hope you all enjoyed. For more content like this, please make sure to like and subscribe to stay on the radar for all things basketball.